Hi there, my name is Andy McIntyre and I'm the minister in Partick South Church in Glasgow. And I wish to send you, our good friends in Johnson High Parish, our Christmas greetings. In Matthew chapter 1 verse 19 it says, "Because Joseph her husband was faithful to the law and yet did not want to expose her to public disgrace, he had in mind to divorce her quietly." I've always had a fascination about Joseph, Jesus' earthly adopted father. What were the qualities that made him the perfect choice? Of course, he was a Jew, born in Bethlehem. He was in the line of King David. In fact, in Luke's Gospel, it takes his lineage all the way back to Adam. He was also chosen because God knew he was a righteous, conscientious, faithful man, faithful to the law. Joseph, through no fault of his own, was caught in a situation where his betrothed Mary was pregnant and the baby wasn't his. Naturally, he would have thought about it, and he chooses to divorce her quietly. The word quietly speaks volumes here. Joseph could have went to the temple or the synagogue, to the priests and say, "I'm not the father of Mary's child." Either she was willingly unfaithful, or she was sexually attacked and raped. If she was guilty of adultery, then under the law she could be stoned to death. However, if she had been attacked and raped, then she could appeal to the law for clemency. Joseph could have gone to the town gates and publicly disgraced Mary by declaring that Mary was pregnant and he was not the father. He would be within his right to divorce her, to bring shame on her there and then, and he would save face in the community and would be able to marry again. Joseph contemplated this, but he chose to do something else. He chose to divorce her quietly. And by doing this, he was in fact saying that the unborn child that Mary was carrying was his, and that he was walking away from his responsibility to Mary and this child. In effect, he was abandoning Mary, and by doing this, the shame would fall on him and not on Mary. He would forfeit the dowry that he had been paid by Mary's family. He would be cast out from his own family for bringing shame upon them for his behaviour. He would be rejected by the religious leaders for not following the law and barred from the temple and synagogue. But Joseph, he chose to be shamed. He chooses to accept all the shame that would have come on Mary's way, that would fall upon his shoulders and not hers. Joseph was willing to take upon himself the terrible shame to protect Mary. He was willing to sacrifice himself to spare her. Why? Because of love. He loved Mary more than he loved himself. He was willing to be rejected by his community so that Mary and the unborn child could live freely. He was willing to take the pain and the shame so that she didn't have to. He was willing to put his own life on the line so that Mary could live, and the unborn child that wasn't his could have life. Sounds familiar? Born in Bethlehem, a Jew, knowledgeable in scripture, a righteous man, conscientious man, chosen by God, prepared to take the shame of another upon his shoulders, willing to sacrifice himself because of his love for another. Of course, we know the story goes that even though Joseph had decided to divorce Mary quietly, to take the shame upon himself, an angel comes. He speaks with Joseph, tells him it's okay, take Mary as your wife, for the child is the Son of God. There is so much in Joseph that we see of God, that we see of Jesus. And that's why I believe Joseph was picked to be the earthly father of Jesus. I hope today you will see Joseph slightly differently and think about him in a new way. God bless and Merry Christmas to you all.